The content discussed in this podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and should not be construed as financial or mortgage advice. Always consult with a licensed professional before making any decisions regarding mortgages or financial matters.
Welcome to the Canadian Mortgage Show. Here are mortgage professionals Alex Pang and Alex Shanks to cut through the BS and educate Canadians on all things mortgages and real estate.
Right now, there's Canadians still want to own a home, but most people just do not believe.
So when people were asked directly, 77% of non-homeowners said they would like to own if they would. So it reinforces not a lack of interest, it's a lack of access. Welcome to episode 75 of the Canadian Mortgage Show. Alex Pang here alongside my partner, Alex Shanks. Alex, you're supposed to wear something to celebrate.
I know. I celebrated too hard after they won, and now I'm just kind of like, I don't want to wear the jersey anymore.
Well,
it's also because I'm just a little bit lazy to walk outside, but you're repping it for us, and we are the Super Bowl
champion, Super Bowl 60 champion. So I put it on social that redemption complete. We've suffered from Super Bowl 49 when there was an interception on the goal line. We all remember should have passed it to Marshawn, and it's been our nightmares forever. It's not like that moment has gone away, but it has softened the blow. It's kind of like, okay, it's happened. At least, there's some redemption or there's some
I mean, it was just, and again, it's funny. A lot of people complain like, oh, it was such a boring game, and it wasn't more of a defensive game, but like it was still a decent game. I mean, I've watched many worse games than that. And it was still exciting. I mean, it wasn't massive big plays or anything, but that's because both teams were not letting that happen.
Yeah, I mean, it was a defensive battle. And like teams that were just going for it, usually on fourth and whatever, take the points. Like such a defensive battle, just take the points. And even at halftime at 9-0, I was nervous, but I'm like, we're not giving them anything. Like, hey, we could pitch a shutout, or when I'm up to 12-0,
do it 9, just leave it. Yeah, win it 12-0.
Yeah, and as a Eddie fan, even though we were favored, I was still nervous because you know what? Hey, one big play could lead to a touchdown. Is all of a sudden 12-7 and whatever, right? So when it got to 19-0, when AJ Barter got like 19-0, I'm like, yeah, I think we got it now.
And that's you. You went out with your wife. Was it your sister-in-law and your mother-in-law?
Yeah. So if you guys want to see on the video side, we drove up to Kelowna as part of our work trip, a work conference. So the work conference was Monday to Wednesday. We drove up Sunday instead, and we watched the game at King Taps in Kelowna. We were able to get an amazing seat. If you guys see on the video side, there's us there. And we had this big projection TV right in front of us. So I sat in the middle, and I'm like, ladies, you sit on the side because I'm the only one really cheering for this.
No, I'm not in the corner. You guys can talk over each other as long as I can see the TV.
Yeah. And you didn't see in the picture there, but I'd say a good 80% of Seahawks fans there. So we were all friends that day. And I was the initiator of calling C. Yeah, so it was great. Yeah, and then there was I have to give King Caps its props. They did a lot of raffle draws, prizes, quizzes, and stuff, and it was a good time. It was very well done.
We were at my parents-in-law place, and we did a bit of a game too, like the picking, choose write your names down on the squares and everything. And my family, we didn't lose any money. We won what we put into it.
Okay, did you guys have a buy-in or anything?
Yeah, it was $10 per person type of thing.
Okay. Yeah. Some of the trivia or something like that was about how long is the national anthem going to be, over under 120 seconds that Charlie Puth was going to do.
Let's talk about the Gatorade, the yellow Gatorade.
Yeah,
it came on TV, and I shouted out to everyone. I said, holy shit, I can't believe they're showing this on TV right now.
Yeah, so wasn't there any prop bets that was going in with the color and stuff like that?
Yeah, of course, there always is. And the prop bets were still open during that time. And now, then in my head, I was like, are they screwing with them, trying to make people think they're going to be yellow?
Yeah.
And I mean, it turned out to be yellow. I think NBC got in trouble, actually.
Yeah.
It's like, what the frick are you doing?
Yeah, I on our sheet, I actually picked orange, but I wouldn't have been I would have been surprised if they picked green or something to match Seahawks or something. So I don't know. But yeah, that was pretty crazy. I'm like, hey, no, they're yellow.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then they even some of the prop bets was what is Bad Bunny's first song that he's going to sing. I'm not a Bad Bunny fan, so I don't know. And I think at the restaurant the volume wasn't turned up, so we couldn't really hear his music. But it was cool to see Lady Gaga appear and say.
That's I mean I could, obviously I'm not Spanish. I didn't understand the words. I don't know his music that way. But it was like I liked the show. Like it was a fun show. I mean it's better. I'm gonna say I hated the Kendrick Lamar one. Like that to me was just the personally the worst show I've ever seen. But this was fun. It's been better than most recent history.
Yeah, my favorite shows now, obviously my musical taste is hip hop and R&B and stuff like that. So my favorite one is the Bruno Mars one, the year that the Seahawks won the Super Bowl. That was in Metcalf, Super Bowl 48. That was amazing. And the one in LA with Dr. Dre, Snoop, Eminem.
That was all one. Yeah, that one was. That one was amazing.
Yeah, well, I'm sure like the older people that like the Rock and the Megas are like, oh, that was the worst ever. Should have Kid Rock and all that stuff. But yeah, I digress. So I mean, the Super Bowl party was. So we're recording on a Thursday today. Super Bowl party was Wednesday. I wish I could have gone, but I was in Kelowna at the time. But couldn't happen. But
yeah, it looks like it's like second biggest one for outing. I mean, the Eagles were the busiest for it at like 1.5 million, but like the Seahawks, like 1 million people came out for it. And it probably was a good time.
So I'm going to go on a little soapbox, if I may here. Folks, if you want to skip ahead, you can. So here's a picture here of Seahawks with the parade on the parade bus. And what's that say on the bus, Alex?
They're world champions. It's the US is the world, right, Alex?
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Seahawks, you're my team. I love you guys. I'm a fan. We are season ticket holders. Stop calling yourself world champs. It's not the world, okay? American football is only played in the US. I mean, we have a version of it in Canada, but for the most part, it's US. Even the NBA and Major League Baseball does it. I don't even know why they call it World Series. It should be, I don't know, Major League Cup or something like that. In NHL, we're hockey fans here. We call our winners Stanley Cup champions. We don't call it world champs because we have a world championship. All right. Yeah. Now, even Greg Popovich, a former NBA coach from the San Antonio Spurs, U.S. sprinter Noah Lyles, they mentioned in the past too, calling for an end to calling NBA champs world champs. So Noah Lyles says, world champions of what? The United States? Don't get me wrong. I love the U.S. at times, but it ain't the world. So yeah. He even said, true world championships feature players and teams from other countries and international competition. So,
I mean, this is also changing of times. I mean, the world has been surrounded by the U.S. before everything was about the U.S. and it's starting to change. And I mean, it's an interesting time that way.
Yeah, and I know their stance is saying that we're the world champs because players from other countries play it in our league, so we are the world and we're the best at American football. I'm like, no one else plays it. You guys, that's essentially a domestic league. So yeah, we have friends in the States. You guys need to stop calling it world champs, okay? Super Bowl champs, fine. NBA champs, fine. I mean, World Series champs, I mean, fine. But
I'd be interested to know, I feel like especially for MLB, it's more like the World Series like that. But I'd be interested to know, like, if you ask someone in Seattle, if you're like, oh, what did you guys win? Are you like, what type of champions you are? I wonder if they would say, oh, we're the world champions, or if they would just say, oh, we won the Super Bowl. Like, I feel like it's probably more of the news and like the teams that do it than probably the actual people watching.
Yeah, you know what? Funny though. Chris Pratt, he's an actor, a Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy. He mentioned it too on Twitter. I'm like, I think it's an American thing. Like Rainn Wilson, he's Dwight Schrute from The Office. He's from Washington Seahawks fan. He mentioned world champs too. I'm like, I think it's just an American cultural thing. I'm like, okay, guys, we love you, and I know it points to American arrogance and stuff like that. And for the most part, it actually helps you guys being the best at a lot of things in the world, like sports and the business industry and stuff. But don't call it world champs, okay? That's just my pet peeve. Sorry for taking 10 minutes out of the part of the show. We better get started.
We're gonna change the sporting industry here. It's done.
Stop calling world champs.
Say it again.
But Seahawks are Super Bowl champs. I'll take the NEJ.
Yeah.
You want to lead us off, Alex?
Yeah, well, we're gonna go into one. We're gonna be talking about housing and stuff. I mean, we are the Canadian Mortgage Show. Sometimes we're just talking about the economy. Sometimes we're just talking about the Seattle Seahawks. That's gonna dwindle away, people. You'll stop hearing about that. And I mean, both mine and Alex's hockey teams aren't going to make it to a Stanley Cup champion, so we don't have to worry about that. But right now, there's Canadians still want to own a home, but most people just do not believe. And now we're going to go over a full poll with Abacus Data for the Canadian Home Builders Association, showing housing has actually become a crisis of confidence. Now, I mean, I feel like it's a crisis of income levels. Like, there's a lot of stuff, but we're going to dive into all this here. Some of the stuff on the video side, we're going to have graphs and everything, but they've done a really good job of showing a bunch of data.
Yeah. So leading off here, 70% still want to own a home someday, including 89% of those aged 18 to 29 and 80% of those aged 30 to 44. So now, even among lower income Canadians, the aspiration remains pretty strong. 60% of those with household incomes under 50,000 still want to own one day. So it is.
Now, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, who's gonna say no though? What would be like? I mean, even at 30% saying no, like why would someone actually say no? They don't want to own a home.
Well,
Yeah. Unless they're retired,
Yeah.
and they're like they already own a home. Like that one I find a little bit interesting, because it's like everyone would obviously want to own a home. Doesn't mean are they going to be able to own a home? But I would think most people want to own one.
Yeah, I think for the most part, the ones that maybe say they don't because they know the numbers. They know that at this point in the major cities, renting is cheaper than owning.
Exactly.
It wasn't always the case. It was pretty close at the time. Now, like I've been talking with some clients who are, pre-approving as a first-time buyer, and he tells me what he's renting, and he's renting for $1,300 a month, or no, what was the number? Yeah, it was like $1,400 a month. And after all the said and done, I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that you're going to end up paying double when it comes to like mortgage payments, strata fees, property taxes, utilities, and everything. He's like, yeah, I kind of figured that, but I'm sick of renting. I want to be able to own my own, and I feel like financially I can afford it. So.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, same. I talked to someone and same thing. I showed them their budget was going to go up almost $2,000. It was going to be over double, but they were like, Alex, we've in the last year, we've had to move 5 times. And like, I always forget, like, I'm always thinking about numbers and like, hey, is this benefiting someone like on an investment? Is this actually going to help save the money? But sometimes we forget it's just the person connection of like, hey, they just want to have a house over the roof, know that it's theirs, and not have to worry about anything else.
Mm. Well, I mean, that kind of goes into what you just said directly. So when people were asked directly, 77% of non-homeowners said they would like to own if they would. So it reinforces not a lack of interest, it's a lack of access.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's where now the other one is now only 29% of non-homeowners are actually confident they will ever be able to buy a home someday, while the rest fall into the spectrum of doubt. Those who would hope but aren't sure, 29%. Those who want to buy but don't think they'll be able to do it, 18%. Those who want to buy but are certain they won't, 24%, which is a horrible number. And this is obviously between ages 8 to 29. Uncertainty is particularly high, with 42% saying they hope to buy but aren't sure they'll be able to do, which is like, that's a really sad thing to hear, Alex. Like, I remember growing up wanting to buy it, like owning a home and having like a secure job like that was and so it's not the definition of made it, but I feel like it does make it. And I want people to know, like, just owning a home and owning stuff, like there's much more to life. And I'm realizing that a lot lately, that money and homes, it's not the happiness, it's where you are, what you're at with your family. But if you don't even have that hope to do it, it's going to make you not want to strive in life.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, what this graph and these stats are showing me is that they want to, but the more and more that they're seeing that the math ain't mathing, things aren't going to add up. And um, unless they make a ton more money, or they live in a much cheaper place in Canada, or not even in Canada altogether, it's not going to happen. And not everyone has the bank of mom and dad to go to. Some of us are fortunate enough to do that. I call myself included, so I am fortunate. But a lot of people don't. And this is just kind of it's a sad reality of the state of affairs today, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Um,
We got to make the high-speed trains like I want there, Alex, so that we can everyone can live out in the suburbs and still get to the cities quick.
well, I mean, hey, they are starting to do that in back east with starting out the Montreal Ottawa corridor, right? And then who knows how that goes. I mean, we all know any huge major project in Canada it just gets slowed down by red tape, like
Bureaucracy and color, and that's the problem. Like, if we could actually do it and not make it take 10 years, hey, it'd be great. But if we started that today, I'm going to say it'd be completed in 20 years, probably.
Well, yeah, and it'll be 5 times over budget. And corrupt contractors, taking more money. I mean, we need things like infrastructure, the speed of like Japan or Hong Kong or something. Like, they build quick. And China, if you don't care or just disregard the whole human rights thing. Remember during COVID, they built up a hospital in 48 hours. Yeah. It's like
That's, I mean, they're just using, like, for one, like, they're not like they're using like modulars and everything. Like, they're innovating where we're just like, nah, I don't like the look of that, or no, it's not right. And now, talking about what did you just say there about politicians stealing and everything? I just heard something, and this is going back to Donald Trump. His son started a crypto, and Saudi Arabia bought $500 million of it. It does nothing right now, absolutely nothing. And it's like, why are they buying this? What are they going to do with this money? Like, why are they pretty much padding a politician's pockets? Hey, they're not giving it right to Trump; they're giving it to his son. And it's just like, it's just so blatant now. It's like, holy shit! Like, this is out. And he's just creating chaos everywhere else for people not to pay attention.
Yeah, it's just sad. But I mean, like, at the same time, on the other than Tolkien, the Asian countries are able to build up so quick is because they don't care about like workforce standards and everything like that. So I'm not saying going the other end, but what's working right now is we just have way too many chefs in the kitchen, too many consultations, too many, like all these like, oh, we need to consult this environmental, like, yeah, like if we want something to happen, man, let's just reduce the barriers to make it happen. So yeah, moving on here on this this poll here. Canadians overwhelmingly see housing affordability as a crisis, like we've talked about, not a temporary challenge. 83% are concerned about the affordability of buying a home, rising to 93% among 18 to 29-year-olds and 87% among 30 to 44-year-olds. So, I mean, no surprise here. This basically just kind of confirms what you and I have been talking about since the beginning, the genesis.
Like you said, the only plan some people have is coming from their family of like, okay, hey, when my parents pass away, I'm either getting their house or I get a bunch of cash, and then I can go buy a house.
Yeah.
But again, for one, a lot of people are living longer than they anticipated, and so like there's a lot of stored up and pent, and that's where it's hard. And I start to think for people, it's like, well, let's say if I'm just going to use $1 million house, family, and maybe they have other investments and everything, and they don't even really want to be there, but they're like, oh, I'm just keeping this house, I'm going to give it to my kids down the road. It's like, do something now. Sell your house, go live in a condo, enjoy your life, and let your family live their life today. Not holding out and be like, oh, I'm going to give it to them when they pass away. It's like, hey, like, actually live your life with that family. Maybe you guys could buy a property and all live together. Like, I feel like we need to change the way that we've been doing things, because it's not going to keep working.
Yeah, more and more of my clients, from the pet parent side, also from the children's side, they're getting help from family, and they're not waiting for parents to. And parents know that it's becoming more of a challenge. That it's almost become a well-known kind of reality to help the kids out. Need to kind of pass on a living inheritance, help them out with the down payment and such. Because there is no way a 25 or 30-year-old can save up 100 grand. Like, I don't care how much money you make, the cost of living is so high. Like, geez, like, in order to save up 100 grand, like, you'd have to save like what, 10 grand a year for 10 years, like, without forgetting about like appreciation from the investment and stuff like that. Like, who can do that? Like, even if you're living at home and being frugal, it's tough. It's tough for sure.
Well, it's so different. I mean, I'll talk like when I came out of high school, the first job I got as commercial diver, I made $75,000, and that was back, and my rent was $600. So hey, I was able to save up an exorbitant amount of money because my expenses were so low. My next job, my income went up, and again, I lived way below my means. But you're just not able to live below your means. Like, I could try and tell someone, hey, go live in the cheapest apartment. Well, you're going to live in a tent. And even at like a park now, like if you want to live in a trailer, it's going to cost you $1,200 a month. Like, you can't, you can only squeeze so much out of what there is to even try and cut costs now.
Yeah, and I have to give some flowers to some of my clients who I've seen save quite a bit of money, and I'm like, I have to give you mad props because you've gone against the grain. You've been swimming uphill because all of society is telling you you got to get the latest iPhone. Your car is getting old. You better new car. Oh, hey, there's all this car financing for 0.99%. Don't pay for 6 months. Blah blah blah. Our culture is we run on instant gratification, and it doesn't reward delayed gratification about saving. It is a sacrifice. It hurts, especially when you are doing very well. You can do all these things with it. You can go on vacations. You can buy stuff. You can buy toys. When this Instagram culture is telling you how to live this lifestyle that you made it, and doing it not just for like 3 to 6 months, you're doing it for years on end, where you almost have to shut out the consumerism culture. And I have to give you mad props on that. For those of you listening who've been able to save with no help from family, I have to applaud you for it, because you know what? Like, saving money for the very first time is hard, because once you are a move-up buyer, you've already have equity that's built into your home. So you don't really have to save up as much, maybe just a deposit. But let's say the 5, 10, or
it's the first people buying now. That's the one.
Yeah.
The people that have equity that's done it. It's like, hey, it's still good job that you guys have done it.
Exactly. Once you're in, your equity is already built in, and it's easier to make moves. But that's why family has been largely relied on for help. So I mean, it is a sad thing, and not everyone has the ability to.
Now, obviously, this is one thing Canadians can agree on. Anything politically, it's that the governments are not meeting the moment. Satisfaction with the government action on housing affordability is low across all levels. Just 20% are satisfied municipally, 19% provincially, and 19% federally. And regarding home ownership, those numbers are even low. And again, like, I would be very interested to know, like, who's even actually saying they are satisfied. Like, who actually is satisfied with what, for one, saying that, hey, we're going to build a million homes in a year, 500 homes. Like, come on, guys. Like, let's come with real numbers. Like, I always am interested in polls, because I always get, like, who are they asking? I have never been asked for a poll in my entire life, Alex. I don't know. Have you ever got like a text, a call? Like, I've never been polled.
I would love to participate in these polls, but I'm like, no one's ever asked me. I would love to answer these kind of things.
No. I've never had an email. I've never had a call. And so, like, I just always wonder, like, where are these questions coming from?
100%. Now, if we move on here, 65% say the federal government is most responsible for the housing affordability crisis. Should be more, but 66% said it should be most responsible for solving it. So you create the problem, now you solve it. I don't know if it's the same government. You might need to change governments to do that. Provinces follow closely, but the message is clear. Canadians see that the federal government is the central actor, and they are judging it accordingly. Now, I believe them because, hey, federal government controls monetary policy when it comes to interest rates.
They're also the ones that are saying we're going to build 500,000 homes.
Yeah.
and no, like, they're the one that spout all these things of like, hey, we're going to help housing affordability. We're going to build the housing accelerator program. We're going to give you the home buyers that set, like, they create all these programs that have never done anything.
Yeah. Yeah. If anything, like, and of course they are controlling CMHC, 5% down payment. Now we even talked about it last week. Very interested to hear how this Nova Scotia 2% down payment is going to work. Like, I'd like, that would be, I highly doubt it'll ever come to BC or Ontario, but
Everyone, you were the only person that said yes on my pullout. So in BC, every other person was no.
Well, maybe it's a selfish thing because, it helps business and everything like that.
For the next one, when asked what is the most important for the federal government to address, Canadians place market affordability at the top. They say 63% say it's important to improve affordability for renters in the regular market. 62% say it's important to improve affordability for would-be homebuyers in the regular market, compared to 58% who say expanding social non-market housing is important. I would honestly say that the government, and not even on their own accord, have actually done some good things for the rental market with like the CMHC financing they did for all these like big apartment buildings. And I mean, even some of these developments are turning into rentals now. It wasn't what they were trying to do, but it's actually made some of the rentals actually be more affordable.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's becoming more affordable because the things that made it unaffordable now didn't last, and it stopped. Immigration got shut off. Ultra low 1% interest rates are gone. Yeah, and like the economy is kind of turning on like businesses go through cycles. Real estate is no different. It got supercharged during COVID when we had a million people flooding into the country, ultra low interest rates, the whole pandemic thing about working from home could be forever. So you don't need to live in the big city. Everyone flocked out into the suburbs. What else? All the cottages, all those everything.
Yep.
And money was cheap. It was free. And it created a perfect storm of mass hysteria, to be honest with you. Both Alex and I were in the business at the time. Business at the time. It was a weird kind of life. It was almost like a weird dream that we lived. We had to stay home, stay safe, mask up, the whole vaccination thing. Black Lives Matter happened during that time too. But our market was crazy. Real estate was crazy. We're like, shoot, I tested positive for COVID. I gotta isolate myself for 7 days. I'm stuck in my guest room, but I was doing like deals all day long. So I couldn't afford to be sick. So I don't know. Was that a weird time for you too, Alex?
It was a different time. And I mean, you can even go back remember when everyone in Vancouver, like we used to cheer every single night for all the medical support out there. Now we're screaming at them saying you suck at your jobs. And it's like, well, no, they all don't have enough people actually working. And we've just gone on this weird, I almost thought like COVID was like, wow, this is going to bring a lot of people together. It's like, at first it was like togetherness, and then everyone got trapped too long indoors and with like maybe just with even partners, getting dogs, having kids. And now it's like, oh shit, stuff's exploding. I mean, in the last like week, I've talked with 7 people that are getting divorces for mortgages, which is like, Jesus Christ. And I find it's honestly, it's more, you would have thought maybe it was the COVID people. It's actually like the 50 to 55-year-olds. It's people that I think like their kids are obviously gone. Maybe they're graduated. And now I don't know, they're just not happy with each other.
Or maybe it could be a case where they stuck together for the kids and waited till the kids were graduated and grown. Then they're like, so it was not that it just all of a sudden happened, but it's been brewing for a while. So they were just buying their time until that happens. Yeah, it is sad. I mean, the stat still prevails that are we still at 50% divorce rate in Canada, or is it lower in Canada?
I think so.
Or is that like 40 last divider rate, 46, something like that? Anyways, close to 50%. But yeah, that's kind of sad. We kind of move on here, and this is a long poll, folks. We could dedicate this whole episode to the poll.
Now, I mean, it's all interesting stuff. It's interesting to hear, and again, I would love to know where they're getting the data, but it's interesting to know who and what are saying what.
Yeah, and folks, the reason why we're spending so much time on it is it's important on how we feel about affordability, and it's enough that we want to talk about it. So the next up here, 67% want more focus on affordability for home ownership, 66% on increasing overall housing supply, 62% on speeding up approvals and reducing barriers to construction. Meanwhile, only 47% say more focus should be placed on non-market housing. Now, I mean, increasing overall supply, it's already happening because the market has kind of turned. It's probably the right housing supply, not the, there's tons of condos asking for $3,000 a month in rent available, but no one's using it. It's
a one bedroom suite for a 3-person family.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the right supply, the right affordability, and all that stuff.
We all don't love to talk about the only the way to make obviously homes affordable is prices need to go down. And that is either they have to make it so people don't want to buy to bring prices down more, or you have to increase incomes. Like there is us adding more homes are not going to reduce the prices by 200,000-300,000. And I mean, obviously we never want it, but is it taxing people's homes? Like, is that, I don't think that's the right way to do it, but is it maybe making a barrier for, hey, you have 5 properties. Hey, your 6th property, you're going to pay more in interest for a property like that. Like, I feel like there's levers that they could pull on to try before making drastic things, saying like, hey, if you buy a home, you get taxed on it. Like that's just a too drastic one. But I feel like there's some smaller levers that they could be pulling on here.
Yeah, I mean, it's already happening. Homes have, especially in the overinflated markets of Fraser Valley and the GTA, homes have been down like, up to 20% from the peak. So homes are more affordable.
They were still already not affordable.
Yeah. So it was never it should never have gone up in the first place. Yeah. Because of FOMO, it went up. It's come back down to, I think we talked about it. It's come down to like the
2019 levels.
Yeah, 2019 levels. But even 2019 levels was unaffordable. So it almost like needs to come down more. So,
well, that's what is CMHC's. They now hope to get to 2012 levels, is what they've said. Okay. Like that is their goal.
It's
previously with like 2004.
Yeah, it's almost like it's not going to happen all at once, but it's almost like you have a nail in your tire where it's slowly losing air. So it is happening. It's happening.
But again, that's just where like every other, it's going to happen in certain markets, and then you have other markets that are they're going up, and that's I said back in 2023, I said these are going to be some of the worst times ever, but they're also going to become some of the most profitable for people that have the ability to buy and do things when everyone else is obviously scared. And myself, I have benefited from it. I bought a place and I did not expect it to increase in value. That's not what I was buying it for, but I did know that over the long term, it was going to be a good play. And I've made very good money on it now. And that's where it's a scary time. And even when we talk about people and jobs, like this is the easiest time in history to make money. Like you could go and you could go to someone and say, hey, I want to help run your business better. I'm going to help show you how to use AI to book your meet. Like there's so many ways that you could get another job going, that maybe your other job is not working enough for you, that like, I wouldn't take someone complaining and say, hey, I'm working at Walmart, I can't buy a house. It's like, hey, yeah, if you're working at Walmart, you're not going to buy a house. I'm sorry. We're not back in the 1990s here. It's like, hey, you have to do other stuff now.
Yeah. I mean, what AI has kind of forced us to do as a society is have to not rest on our laurels and to be able to up our skills, to adapt and adapt with the changes, because AI is coming for those white collar jobs. It's, I mean, it's a ways away before it takes over trade stuff. Maybe not in our generation, but like it's taken over entry level jobs that Tip Macklem has admitted to, and we know it. It's, if anything, as a society, we have to adapt to the times.
What are we gonna have to do, Alex, to make sure everyone knows that we're not AI? We got to do like some secret thing to be like, no, computer can't do that.
I think people are You know what? AI is right now, people can still figure out it's not BS. Yeah.
And that's just, and this is to other mortgage professionals out there and everything. Like, I'd be very careful of how you're using AI, for one, for data security for people. There's like, have you been seeing, I've been seeing everything about this Claude bot. Like, have you been seeing that?
I've
from
heard of it. Yeah, I've heard it floating around.
Get like a Mac Mini and it runs everything. It is that's so freaking scary, letting that, like, a computer system have access to all your stuff, your emails, everything. And I mean, like, I'm hearing mortgage brokers talk about, I'm like, this is people's data. Like, you are giving people access to their SIN numbers. This is all online. It's like, holy shit, what are we doing? Um, but even on that, it's seeing people that are making these videos that are AI generated. Yes, they don't say the AI generated, but you can tell they are. And like, people are already so sick of it. And it's only going to get worse. And that's why, like, Alex and myself, we built the authenticity of, like, this alone. People know us because of a podcast, because it's me and him. And that's where, like, if we were to try and be like, oh, let's make AI agents of ourselves so we don't even have to do a recording, it wouldn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's because of how me and you, I have a different opinion than you. We have ways to talk with people. And that's really what's going to matter for the future. AI is going to assist people to make things happen faster. But if you take away the personal connection, it's never going to work.
I mean, basically all the stuff that we've been rattling off here, I mean, the message is pretty clear for Canadians. It's not that we're rejecting non-market housing. It's that we don't believe it can substitute for fixing market housing affordability. And so they're worried the government action is not aligned with where the crisis is hitting hardest. This is why 78% of Canadians think it's important that the government do much more beyond build Canada homes to address housing affordability and market rate housing. Yeah, people can smell BS. And when it came out last week about they've only built 9 homes, I'm like, what in the world are you guys doing then? Talk is cheap, essentially.
Yeah, no, that's a crazy one. Now we get into this. Now, 71% agree the government's current approach does not match the scale of the housing crisis. Again, we all know that. 67% say it's not doing enough to support home ownerships. I believe that. They've just done Band-Aid things saying, hey, we've created the first home savings account. I love it. It's a great account, but they could make it a lot better. And the way that they set it up is because they know that people are not smart and they don't want to lose that amounting in taxes. Because the way that, that account works, Alex, is you only get to put $8,000 into it every single year, and it only starts occurring if you put them when you open it. So maybe I'm a first-time home buyer. I've been wanting to buy for the last 3 years, and no one told me about that account. I now buy a home, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna do it. Hey, I only get to do $8,000. I lost out on the other 16,000, and the government, that is tax funds. They're like, oh, awesome. I don't have to give that rebate back to them, and they knew what they were doing with it. Because with your RSP, you can dump in 60,000. And it's like, well, why wouldn't we just allow people to put 40,000 into it today? Like, it just seems silly.
100%.
And then only 23% believe the federal government's housing effort matches what most Canadians need. Now, I'm going to say that's probably on the older population. That is the ones that are agreeing with that, if anything.
Yeah. I mean, we go on here. Now, the federal government's GST rebate for first-time buyers on new homes, it has clear public support. 47% support the policy, while only 23% oppose it. Now, we talk about this saying that now, they have not rebated anybody yet, right? It's still been sitting on the government's
Parliament.
Yeah, it's still at Parliament, sitting on an agenda while they, go on vacation or, whatever, fly to Ukraine and give, other countries our money, all that stuff. Now, 58% support extending the GST rebate to all buyers of new homes. I'm in that one of the 58 there, not just first-time buyers. This reflects a broad recognition that affordability pressures are widespread and that reducing taxes on new construction can help improve access, increase supply, and make home ownership more attainable across the market.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, that's just where we're at.
You know what?
It's not.
I want to add to this. It should not be a GST rebate. It should be a GST exemption. Like instead of taking it, getting the money back, it should just be exempt. Like in BC, we have property transfer tax. other provinces has land transfer taxes in some form or another, other than Alberta. It should be done right at the lawyer's office. Like, they're just not going to take it. So it saves government money not having to hire CRA staff to administer it. Let's reduce the bloat here. Not create jobs for the sake of creating jobs, but be efficient.
Yeah, no, and it's about, I mean, we get so many people right now and they're like, oh, awesome. They're excited because they heard their realtor say you can buy, you don't have to pay GST. And I got to be the bad guy and be like, hey, you're still paying the GST right now. You may get a rebate in the future. Make sure you speak with your lawyer because nothing is happening yet. And again, it's a propaganda thing. It's just all talk at the moment. And I would be surprised. I don't know if we see it by the end of 2026, to be honest. And that's where it's just going to be chaos of like, when are they going to give these rebates? Like, when's this all going to happen? And it would be nice to be like, hey, is this happening or not?
Yeah, and especially a lot of talk about the whole scrapping the EV mandate thing, and we're going to return to the $5,000 EV rebate. I'm like, why don't you just go back to your election promises and fulfill the promises that you made in the first place, instead of starting new things? Yeah, it's a whole bunch of our favorite word, right?
Go back to mine, Alex. Remember what I said when we do it, you should have a list of things that you say that you're doing and you have to do it. If you don't make it, boom, you're cut. You're not prime minister if you don't make it happen.
Oh, and stop with these MOUs. MOUs sound great, but I'm like, until you break ground and do something, it's kind of like, yeah, okay, we'll believe it when we see it, kind of thing.
Now, development charges are one of the clearest pressure points in the housing system because Canadians see them as a direct driver of higher home prices, paid by disproportionately by the new buyers. 45% say it's unfair, that new home buyers are paying costs older homes never face, and 52% say current development charges levels are unreasonable. And again, this is probably more like, again, are they picking this? Like, are these people in Vancouver, in Toronto, where we know that these development charges are massive? Again, obviously, like our cities, they need money. They have to make money somehow, but like they've just gotten like blood hungry on this stuff. They're just like, cool, I can just charge all these people. And then obviously the developers, they have to increase prices. Like, this is a business, people. Like, we have to remember that in a business, you're making profit. Do I believe some of the profit that they've probably made in the past is probably is too much? Yes, I will say that. But there should be a point of like, hey, they're not going to build something if they're only going to make a 5% profit. They're not going to take that risk. Like, it has to be enough for them to take a risk.
Yeah, we've long documented that in BC and Ontario, upwards of 30% of a new home build goes towards development costs, goes towards some sort of government taxation, permitting, development costs, and all that stuff. And it's like, hey man, you got too greedy. It's unaffordable now. You were part of the problem as well. Municipal, provincial, federal governments, and we've long talked about it too. If you can follow the lead of Vaughan and Mississauga, and instead of getting 100% of nothing, how about take a little haircut, have a discount, like reduce it, and do the volume approach that you get more building and then lower prices. All right. So now, more importantly, Canadians want the system redesigned. We kind of summarize here. 51% agree that development charges place too much of the infrastructure costs on new home buyers and should be shared across a broader tax base. So the mandate for reform is clear. 62% say the system needs moderate to major change, and 56% support shifting these costs across the full tax base at a much lower rate, with only 13% opposed. So yeah, this kind of system is unfairly punishing new homeowners, like brand new builds, even existing homeowners too, with property tax increases. It should be like spread across the region of every.
Well, that's all that means, Alex, is property taxes have to go up. Like, again, like that's where people have to like the money is coming from somewhere. Like that is the thing. And again, this is where even in the US, like I've been getting because of everything that's going on with Donald Trump there. It's a lot of people from the US are coming to Canada here right now. And again, I said, man, if Canada was smart here, and maybe some politicians are leaving this, maybe you should look at this as an opportunity to say, hey, you know what? We want to bring some actually good people into Canada here for one, we've always allowed doctors. That's never been an issue. We let them come in even with the foreign buyer ban here. But like, hey, let's bring in tradesmen. Let's bring in people that are bringing like actually good stuff here to Canada, and let's allow them to buy, because right now they can't buy here in BC. They'd have to pay a tax, or they're just not allowed with the foreign buyer ban. But every state in the US is different. Some of them, California, their taxes are insane. Other places they're lower. On average, their property taxes are higher than ours, and that is because the city is trying to make people happy. Say, oh, look at this, we're not charging that much. But hey, in BC, we have the freaking property transfer tax, and then they have development charges that they are starting to make their money from. And so if they take that away, they got to push it somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I mean, the system right now is not working, and the people have spoken. Essentially, this is I did not envision this taking our whole episode to talk about this, but this is an important talk to kind of gauge the temperature of the market, of the opinion of people. I mean, the stuff that you and I read there is no surprise. You and I have been talking about this since the beginning of this pod, like, and it's now showing up in the stats and people's opinions. So this has been a great kind of peeling away the layers and peeling away the onion to see what the general public really think. Not just us talking heads talking about it. It's what they really think is what we're talking about.
And I mean, that's where, again, like the government lags such a thing. Like a lot of the stuff, they, for one, probably know this. They've heard the voices, but they're like kind of like scared. And maybe it's like, I see some business owners that like when something bad happens, they get scared and they just don't want to deal with it. Or sometimes it's like, hey, you just got to get in front of it and deal with it. And it's actually a lot easier by doing that than just trying to hide. And I feel like our government has just been trying to hide for the last little while.
Yeah, I mean, what this poll really tells us is that we are calling on governments to work together, whether it be municipal, provincial, federal, work together on tackling this housing affordability issue, not building up these little side initiatives just to, little things here and there to appear like it's going to do anything. Like, we need to drastically change our system on how you know housing affordability is. It honestly means home prices need to go down, and it's slowly coming down. Will it go down even more before it levels off? Probably. But yeah, that's kind of a symptom of where we are in Canada. Otherwise, people will never afford, or more people are talking about leaving Canada altogether for somewhere cheaper, somewhere else, like Asia, the state. I don't know about the States, but like Mexico or wherever, to have to build the home ownership dream and live a better life, so to
But
speak.
again, like we have to remember like where we live and everything. Like sometimes, and we all like our prices in our heads is expensive. But again, this week alone, talking with a lot of people coming from the US, for one, they're selling homes at 1 million, 1.2. Well, that becomes almost $2 million Canadian. A lot of them are wanting to buy $2.5 million homes. They're like, well, we love it here, and we feel safe, and we want to live that lifestyle. Like that's where there's people that are moving here for that type of style, and that is BC that way. And so it's hard. It's where we've made our provinces too nice, and it's going to become expensive because of that.
Yeah, yeah, that's just the law of supply and demand in its works. The reason why there's demand is because BC is a great province to live in. I mean, hey, even I'm born and raised in Vancouver. I did a 4-hour drive back to and from Kelowna. And my mother-in-law, her first trip up to Kelowna is like, man, we live in a beautiful province. It's like, wow, like this is why people come here and it's expensive. I'm like, can we just not, show the world that how great it is? But it is what we is. We deal with the problems. I mean, this pretty much kind of wraps up our episode, but we vow to keep talking about this. We are not the solution, but we're here to help navigate the issues at hand that affects every Canadian.
Any plans for the weekend?
It's I think I'm recovering from Kelowna. So we got back yesterday. I had to do some work today. not really any plans. It's Valentine's Day this Saturday, right? So
I know you better better get something.
yeah, I mean, we've never actually celebrated Valentine's. Our dating anniversary is actually on the 28th, so it's 2 weeks after. So uh, yeah, I would like to think this Kelowna trip kind of covers that, even though it's part of.
If you think that, Alex, you gotta at least have some
Then
flowers
I'm
or something.
screwed.
I've learned that. Do not say, don't worry, I don't want anything. I don't want anything. No, that means I want something.
That's a trap, man, folks. When your spouse says, when you ask her, "Are you fine?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Fine is a trap word. Do not believe her. Don't think fine is fine.
If I mean, I wouldn't say that. But like when you ask us, like, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing pretty good. And again, like, I mean, my wife, if I talk with my friends and we have plans, like we're going to Vancouver to hang out with some friends and stuff. And my wife's like, well, so where are we going? What are we doing? I'm like, I don't know. We're going to go to their house. We're going to see them. We're going to hang out. She's like, well, what are we doing at lunchtime? I'm like, I don't know. Like, we'll figure out when we get there.
Yeah, I'm sure she doesn't like surprises. She wants to have everything set out and know what's happening and all that. I'm like, she probably doesn't like having to play it by ear. She probably hates that, right?
Yeah, but it's just, I mean, I don't play a lot of stuff by ear, but it's like, even if, let's say a wedding, we have a wedding this summer, and my buddy and my wife's like, well, where's it at? What's it going to be on? I'm like, I don't know. He's going to send me the card when he said when they're ready.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe we're doing some we're shifting gears on this this pod here. We're talking about relationships.
Yeah, we can give some relationship advice. You know,
when they say
in the dog,
don't get me anything, don't believe them, because if you actually don't get them anything, it's better to be wrong by getting them something than to be wrong by not getting them something. But yeah, so folks, thanks for tuning in to this talk here. On behalf of Alex Shanks, I'm Alex Pang. Thanks for tuning into episode 75 of the Canadian Mortgage Show. We'll see you next time.
Now, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like and subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, make sure to follow us. Please give us a 5-star rating. You can even send us an email because we want to know what you guys want to hear about. That's what we're here for. Reach out anytime.